Hello everyone, welcome to the Intermediate Algorithm Scripting Challenges of FreeCodeCamp. Today we're gonna do everything be true. So everything be true is an algorithm where we need to program something that taking the first argument, which is an array with objects, and those objects all have several properties. They could be pretty random. So those objects have several properties. And the second argument is basically one of those properties, or hopefully one of those properties. And we have to check, well, does that property exist within the first argument? And most importantly, is the value of that property truthy on all the objects, in all of the objects of the array? If yes, then we can return true. Otherwise we cannot. We have to return false. Now, yeah, this is how I summed it up. Only return the true value if every object has the property that we're looking for, so second argument, and if the value of that property is truthy for every single object. If one value is false, then all of it is false. Now, so I looped over the whole collection with the every method. The every method is gonna return true when everything within that condition is true, and false whenever there is at least one outlier. So if there is at least one element that does not fulfill that condition, that's gonna return false. Now, I'm looping over that collection. I call the iterator object, but you can call it whatever you want. And I said, does it have the property pray, so the second argument? If yes, there must be another condition, because I saw that, yeah, of course, it's not enough when the property is there. It also has to evaluate to true. And as you can see here, this is going to evaluate to false, or this should evaluate to false, because h has a value of 0 for this object. And if we check here, boolean of 0, that's going to return false. So we also need to test that. And if every object fulfills the condition, so I mean this means that it has to be true. So if for every object that is true, then everything is true and we are safe. We can return that true value. Now, at this point I'm thinking, well, why do I need to return, why do I need to check if it has the own property? We know that, yeah, if we are checking on that boolean, then we assume that that property is there. So boom, there it is. And now we can shorten it even more, because if we have a condition that tests, we know that it tests something. JavaScript is going to imply we do not want to access the object. It's going to be like we want to return true if that value exists and is true, and otherwise return false. So when we run the tests, we pass them to, so that's a very shortened way to do that. A bit quirky, a bit difficult to read, but it is very short and actually, in a way, yeah, could be quite readable to some people. So if you have any questions, feel free to write them down below in the comments. Also suggestions, or say hi. I would really appreciate it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye.